to share and to speak. I feel like that is the next season in what I'm doing in the space that I'm in. I've done a lot of actual work with people with tax returns and finances and guidance, but being able to be on a platform and be able to share to a wider audience and actually do one-on-one interaction with groups of folks and help them on their journey, I'm looking forward to. I also tell you candidly, I thought about it this morning and I was like, man, I'm reaching a completely different audience than whom I would normally work with my practice. Because my practice, I work with doctors and attorneys and business owners and real estate investors. But with the audience that the book is geared towards, is really geared towards the everyday person, the average person, the person who may never have thought about investing or thinks that they don't have the means to invest or even the means to save to be able to get on a path other than the path that they're currently on. That's really what I'm excited about. I don't know if I would say it's fun because writing really wasn't my thing in school. That's really Tanisha's thing. It's not my thing. And actually, when I started thinking about even writing a book, I was like, oh, I'll write a book about tax strategies and such. But I never thought that I'd be writing a book about investing money and that kind of, this was never, it's like a personal finance book. And I just never thought of myself in that space. But I will say that I think what I find rewarding in the journey is being able to share parts of my story, being able to share elements of who I am, and they'll get more of that when we share one-on-one. There's some of that in the book, but there'll be more of that as we share one-on-one, either in webinars or in actual live sessions or even on different podcasts. I really want people to understand my story, to understand that my story is and can be their story, both the bad part and the part on the uprise.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully they've been at the lowest part.
Yeah.
You've already been low.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to come up now. We're going to come up.
I absolutely love it. Okay. All right, Eric, for new authors, people that are new to the writing game.
Oh, Lord.
What was something that's like, yo, it's so much worse than you thought? What would be something you would say?
I think if I'm going to be completely candid, so I used I don't know if they call it a ghostwriter to help me put the book together.
For sure.
But what I realized is even after you use a ghostwriter, you still have to do the editing piece.
For sure.
To make sure that it's your voice, to make sure that it includes the elements. And I guess what's really sticking with me is because I'm licensed as a CPA, that there's things I need to make sure are technically correct. I want to make sure that I'm not overreaching.
Gotcha.
I am a CPA, but I am not a licensed investor or anything like that. So I don't want, and candidly, the book is not even geared towards trying to give people like investment advice. Like you should see an investment advisor or a financial advisor or a certified financial planner to help with those things. My goal is simply to say, hey, let me start working on my mindset. Let me realize that what's in my hand and what can I do what's in my hand? Because there's more than I can do than what I think, but I have to get higher.
Out of the way. I love it. All right. As you're getting ready to launch this book, and you'll be doing hopefully some speaking.
Yes.
You'll be doing some book signings.
Yes.
And such like that, meet the authors and such like that.
Yes.
How far do you want to take this thing? Are you just going to be in your own little hovel? Are you going around the state, around the nation?
I'm open. I'm open to go to other states. Obviously, I'm in Georgia, so there's plenty of places to go, whether it's churches or schools. I've been asked to share with students even in high school.
Nice.
Because there's talk of, and I don't know if they're going to implement curriculum to help with personal finance.
It should be.
The younger folks, because it should be exactly correct. Sure. Ultimately, really what I want to do, and I was talking with Tanisha about this, is even dealing with the basics. Nobody tells you when you get a job, how do you fill out this W-4? To make sure how much taxes are withheld. Nobody really helps walk you through. You hear get a 401k when you get out of school and you get a job, but who's there to really say, this is really why you should do this? So let's give, even while we're in college, who talks to you about credit cards? his credit card.
Wachovia did.
Yes, Wachovia, Bank of America.
SunTrust, and those other ones.
NS back in the day. Are they still around?
They got bought by Bank of America.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, you're right. Right.
Yeah, they got bought by Bank of America.
Yes.
And Bank of America still around.
Exactly. But that's really the point is
Right.
I really want to talk about basic foundational things. I realize that I do a lot of higher level talking with business owners and doctors and attorneys because they've got means and other things going on that require serious, thoughtful conversation.
For sure.
Could someone just help us with the basic things? Like, I know we don't use checkbooks anymore, but if you do, can you show me how to balance a checkbook?
Bro, that's a lost art.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a lost art.
Actually, I had a client yesterday who has a checkbook that she maintains in Excel. So she budgets and manages her checkbook that way. But you know what?
We need her in here.
Right, exactly.
Call her and get up in here.
She is really good with her finance. I have to give it to her. She is excellent. Multiple real estate properties, money and investments. She's doing it.
But she uses a checkbook.
She uses a checkbook.
I love it. I joke about teach me how to balance a checkbook.
Yeah.
But I've forgotten how to do it. So
Exactly.
I can't tell you I would honestly know how to balance my checkbook. But also let's hold the banks responsible too. They don't send out those statements like they used to where you would actually use it to balance it with
Well, send them online. They'll send them on the paperless. We're going paper, right?
I know.
Paperless,
Save a tree.
But yes, you're correct.
I got you. I got you. Eric, as you were talking, you said that you want to lay out some of the basics, some of the foundational components that pretty much anybody can utilize.
Yes.
So I guess in essence, the hairdresser, the nail technician, the mechanic,
Yes.
or a lawyer or a doctor could all understand, like, we got to balance our checkbook. We need to spend less than we make, those kind of things like that. What would be, if you just say, what would be I know it's not possible to have a silver bullet. I know it's not possible to have the one thing to rule them all.
Right.
What would be one thing you would just say everybody should do that would really significantly improve your financial state? If there was one thing you could get everybody to do from your book, what would it be?
I would say set up the withdrawals for investments or savings to be automatic.
Okay.
It really is what helps make investing and saving, I hate to use this word, but mindless. Like, you don't have to think about it. And it will start to, as you start to look at your statements or look on your phone, like I look at my Robinhood and my Acorn. I probably look at Acorn maybe once a week, but I look at Robinhood like every day.
I got you.
On my phone. But to see what's happening, I guess it can be a blessing and a curse depending on what's happening with the market. But to see your portfolio, your investments growing or what's happening to them, I think is what helps people get excited about what's happening. If you look at your bank account, right? If you have money automatically going to your savings account and you have it on your phone where your savings account is automatically showing up on your phone every day, to see that growth and see, oh, I went from having $0 to now I have $100 at the end of the month. It's small, but it's the beginning for what you're trying to do and trying to build. We're not trying to build a city overnight. We're just trying to build a city over time.
I like it. I like it. This is a Podium Studios broadcast, and this is what we call in the Marietta Minute. And we're sitting down with people in the area to discuss what they're doing that's great. And just take a minute. We're just going to take a minute. But if you already have tuned in, you already know this is going to be a little bit longer than a minute. My name is Jason Whitaker. I'm the host of the Marietta Minute. And this is my good friend, Eric McGlothen. If you've ever followed me, if you listen to me for any length of time, at some point or another, I've talked about my college roommate. And this is my college roommate, Eric. What's happening, man? I got Eric in the studio today, not to go over nostalgia, not to talk about Morehouse or what we're going to do for homecoming, because we could do that for 2 days.
We could do that.
We could do that. But Eric has done something that I'm so proud of him for. And the fact that he's coming on my show to talk about it has really been a blessing to me. It's super encouraging. Eric has written a book.
I've written a book.
And you've written a book. First of all, before we get too far afield, who is Eric besides my college roommate?
Jeez, that's always such an interesting question when people ask that.
Don't start with I was born by the river, okay?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm saying I'm a husband.
Yes.
Married to my wife, Tanisha, for 26 years.
Wow.
I am a father of 2 boys, a 4-year-old and a 17-year-old. I know we're getting old.
I'm right there with you.
I'm an entrepreneur. I No, and before that, let me say I'm a man of God.
Yes,
because I feel
absolutely.
that is so important. I've got to recognize the Most High and people say it cliche, but really would not be here, would not have anything, would not be who I am without him. So I have to say that. But I'm an entrepreneur. And I would say to people that entrepreneurship to me is intoxicating. I think you got to be careful. It can be very intoxicating to be able to build something and to offer a service or a product that people ask for and want and value. I don't know. There's something about that.
And might I also add that other people are benefited from. I was looking at your company website.
Yes.
Eric, there's a lot of folk that are taken care of because of this vision and idea that you had, 25 years ago?
Yes, it started in 1998.
But wait, we get too far afield. What do you actually do?
I'm a CPA. I'm a certified public accountant. So what I do is I help people get their financial statements together for tracking how much money they make and where it goes. And then I help people make sure they don't pay too much of it. Uncle Sam.
Check out Eric. He's going to make sure you stay tight.
Absolutely. We're going to work it. But I mean, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. People, including myself, struggle with making tax payments and understanding that the more money you make, the more money you got to pay in taxes.
Right, right.
Particularly when you're an entrepreneur. And that's really the space that we like to operate in, because that's really where they need a CPA to help them. You're working a 9 to 5, they're taking them taxes out of your check unless you go exempt. But when you are working in a business, the responsibility for calculating and remitting those taxes falls on the business owner. You don't pay them, they're going to lean on your assets. Yeah, you have some problems.
I love it. Thank you, man. So you've written a book.
Yes.
And it is forthcoming, so it'll be out very soon.
Yes.
Give us the name.
Make Money Your Employee.
I like it. I like it. Give me, Make Money Your Employee. So I'm kicking that title around in my head. I'm like, okay, what is he telling me to do? Make money my employee. So how am I making, give me the skinny.
Well, so I have a CPA practice, right?
Yes.
I have individuals that work for me. I have 5 employees.
Okay.
So those employees do everything from bookkeeping, preparing the accounting records and the financial statements, to preparing tax returns and talking to clients. And for those services, they get paid, to do that work. But in exchange for that work, the firm is making money. So it's not just me making the money. It is because I have a wonderful group of employees that I can have the firm that I have. It's the same way with money. You can be the one that just makes the money yourself.
For sure.
Or you can say, I'm going to make each one of these little 1s, 5s, 10s, and 100s go to work.
Do some work.
And start making money for me so that I am not the only one that's making this cash.
Making the money.
That's the thought process behind Make Money Your Employee. I get to work for you.
I love it. So in your book, and not to give away all of it, but are you saying I'm taking my money and I'm putting it in the lottery, or am I taking my money and I'm investing in my cousin's lawn mowing service? How am I making money my employee?
So there's a variety of ways to do that. One way is, given the environment we're in, savings, right? You can put money in savings because interest rates right now are actually pretty good. Where they were 0.01% before, now there's banks paying 4.5%, some paying 5%. Can you imagine making 5% a year for your money just sitting there?
Right.
That's pretty good. Very low risk. So we talk about that. We talk about putting your money in stocks or bonds, utilizing insurance as a vehicle to do that, or just growing a business. So you can do, like I said, put some other people to work to make your money work for you. The point of it is to really, for people to realize that everybody can take something and make it grow.
I like it. I like it. So as we're looking at Make Money Your Employee, book forthcoming, a new author, Eric McGlothen, is out there sharing this information with others. What would you say would be like your main objective? I really want, if 1,000 people read this book, I want everybody to have the same. Now, they might apply it different ways, but I want them to have one main objective. What would be your main takeaway?
So my whole goal in this book was simply to let people know that they can make money work for them. It doesn't matter whether you're working at McDonald's. It doesn't matter whether you're working at Walmart.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're working for Goldman Sachs, Coke, whomever. You can be a part of those individuals that take $1 and make it go from $1 to $1.50 or $5 to $10. You notice what I'm saying? I'm not saying 1,000 to 10,000. I'm not saying 100,000 to 1,000,000, because then it starts to become in a stratosphere in a realm where we feel like we don't breathe that air. We don't operate in that.
For sure.
No, it's about small starts. How do I make $1 become more than what it is?
Okay. You know what, Eric? You actually got me going in a different direction now. All right, because that was not one of my questions, but now, thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm scrolling through Instagram. I'm scrolling through YouTube and stuff like that. I see all these people.
Yes.
Take this and turn it into some astronomical number. Mm-hmm. Take $100 and turn it to 1,000 by next Tuesday and whatnot like that. Deep down inside, I don't think that's right. Something is afoot. Something's amiss, or there might be entirely too much risk in it. And I'm risk aversion. What would you say if I called you and said, Eric, I want to invest $1,000 in this YouTuber or this $1,000 in this person on Instagram? And aren't I making it my employee?
You are, but you have to be mindful of, you can't take money that you can't afford to lose.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got to be mindful of that. Number two is you got to do your due diligence.
Okay.
I'm probably dating myself, multi-level marketing schemes. And I'm not going to say schemes, because some people do well at that. When you talk about your Amways and prepaid legals and those types of things, people make money at that and have done well and help people. So I'm not saying that can't be. But you have to do your due diligence and make the investment that's right for you, but also realize that there's no really get-rich-quick scheme.
Can you just say that one more? You might have to say it 10 more times, because everybody needs to hear that.
Yeah. There's no get-rich-quick scheme. Yes, there's individuals who have made certain investments and they've made money on that overnight. Yes, they may play the lottery and they're going to win multiple millions of dollars in the lottery, or they may be really skilled, basketball, football, whatever it is. Yeah. They get a huge contract. But in general, for the normal, average, everyday person, there's no get-rich-quick scheme. So that's important. I think the second thing to be mindful of is, you mentioned something about being risk-averse, and we talk about that just a little bit in the book, but that's part of how you have to evaluate what you're going to put money in. I'm not as risk averse. Okay. I'm willing to jump in. Oh, there we go. I'm an impulsive person. I can do that. Tanisha actually balances me out. My wife balances me out in that way, because she's more cerebral and thoughtful and let's think through this and figure this out. And we recently started a business together. Actually, we bought an RV together, and we're going to be renting that out. And that was an adventure in and of itself, not to get off topic, but just my point being is that you have to do what's comfortable for you. So I tell clients, if you're risk averse, I'm not going to try to suggest that you put yourself into investments that are going to keep you up at night. Yeah, we don't want to make you uncomfortable. But my point would be that there still should be an investment that you used to select that would be right for you. Maybe a savings account may be a good way for you, because very low risk, right? Mm-hmm. But it pays off, not the highest percentage, but something that's going to give you a return, give you something back on your investment. That may be the way to start.
So I think it'd be fair to say that Eric's one of the things that you want us to grab from this book is that some way, shape, or form, whether it be a stocks, investing in a new company, or just sticking it in a savings account or a CD, invest something. Save something. Yes, that's exactly correct.
Don't think that, 25 cents is too small even. And I know that sounds a little obnoxious, but it's true. The way the platform Acorn is set up, and I'm not endorsing them, I'm just telling you what I've used and what has worked for me. They have a roundup feature. So you spend 80 cents at Walmart, it's going to take the other 20 cents and invest it for you.
Yeah.
So it's literally taking money that, what would you, not to make a lot of it, but what would you do with 20 cents? So it doesn't hurt to put it into an investment. So if you have a habit of going to the store or going out to eat multiple times, it's almost like it's taking a bad habit and at least helping you make some good out of it.
I like that. So could you speak to the person who's watching this, listening to this, maybe who's thinking about picking up your book, but they feel like deep down inside they don't feel like it's going to make a difference? I know we were talking about 20 cents. They don't feel like it's going to do anything. And they're like, this is not going to work because it's only 20 cents, only 50 cents, only $3, $20, whatever. How do you encourage them to get out of that mindset and get into that, no, 20 cents is going to work, it is going to help?
You can, what do they say? You can bring a horse to water, you can't make them drink. So you can only present things to them. And I would just tell them, like the song says, taste and see. Really, this is really an opportunity where you say, for example, maybe I'll get that acorn. Let me just see what happens for 30 days. Give yourself 30 days and see what happens. See how, if you go buy something every day, right? And if 20 cents is the average, if it's 20, that's 5 days, that's $1. And then at the end of a month, you've got $4. Just the fact that you've got $4 saved away somewhere that you haven't spent, right? Because if you're trying to move away from this whole living literally paycheck to paycheck, this is how you start. Yeah. Among other things. So I'm not saying that this is the only, there's a plethora of other things you got to do that, look at budgets, cut up, reduce expenses, increase income, those kinds of things. I'm simply saying that the ability to be able to put some money away, so at least when you need some money, you can go to it.
You have it.
It's helpful. I had to do that just yesterday. Okay. I needed to I pulled on money from savings. I pulled on money from my investment. There were some things that I just had to take care of, but the ability to have, we talk about delayed gratification, ability to be able to delay some gratification and put some money away and have it when it's emergent relieves some anxiety. It can put you in a different place of being, a different state of rest and peace because that you've got some things set aside in case you need them in an emergency.
I love it. Okay, so you're speaking about emergencies. How do I keep from chopping down my little acorn sapling? You didn't talk me into it, Eric. I've been putting money away for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. I got my little acorn sapling popping up over here. What should I be doing? Should I be doing something in conjunction with? Because now I got a minor emergency, a $300 bill, $450 that I didn't intend for. And that acorn sapling looking mighty good right now.
Or maybe that's the next book. Because really that deals with incorporating, making adjustments to our lifestyles. We talk about it in the book, even being able to, when you're trying to identify, like, how do I identify that I even have any money to save? And we tell them to look at your bank statements and your credit cards. I looked at mine, I'm like, man, I didn't realize I had that subscription going. I tell a story about how I had gotten a subscription to the car wash, thinking I was going to save me, right? Because I'm going to go, I can go to the car wash as much as I want now and pay one rate. But I ended up getting the subscription and I wasn't even going to the car wash.
Oh, no.
So I just kept paying this fee months. And then finally I was like, wait a minute, I'm not even going here. Let me get rid of this subscription.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of things you can identify that you should look through that you can start making adjustments to. But I think everybody's got something.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something that they can adjust either in how their spending habits are or a subscription they don't need, something. And that's, I think, how you start to adjust and get yourself in a position where you can have some freed up capital.
No, I love it. I love it. All right. So you got me interested. You got us interested, Eric. Forthcoming book. It should be out. I think it's fair to say definitely next month.
I would say next month. I'd say definitely before the end of the year. Let's just say that.
That's fair.
We expect that it would be in November, but definitely before the end of the year.
It'll be under my Christmas tree. It'll be part of my Christmas present. I got you. All right. So who is this for? If you had to draw a picture, this is the person I wrote this for.
I wrote it for that, like I said, for the average person. We talked previously, and I said this book is not written for the individual who has is savvy about investments.
Okay,
It's not
okay.
written for the person who has their own investment advisor and meets with them and is building a great portfolio. This is built for the person who says, I don't have anything to invest. This is for the person who's not even of the mindset that I can make money work for me.
Right.
And that's really what this book is about, is that to help you expand your thought process that you too can make money work. And not just in just the traditional investments and savings and insurance, but even in thinking about, we list out a bunch of different, we call them side hustles that you could do to start generating extra income so you can start making money work for you and not just continue to work for your money. That's really the goal set. That's really the goal and the mindset that I'm trying to fight against, is this whole thing about working for money. I tire of, and I hope this doesn't come off wrong, but I just tire of when we go to our church houses in our community and it's this whole mindset of we need a miracle like right now in our finances. And I've been there. I just told you about what happened yesterday. Yeah. I've been there over and over again. But I also believe that the Father, God, has given us wisdom and given us tools and things that we can do, that if we will change how we approach that which we have, we can do something different.
I love it. I think it's fair to say that you see Make Money Your Employee, your book, as one of those tools that would help people shift out of paycheck to paycheck mindset, I can't save mindset, I don't have a lack mindset, into a space of, you know what, I can.
That's exactly right.
I can do that.
That is the goal of the book. Like, I didn't write the book to be like this big, let's talk about which stocks to invest in and how to do options and all of those other things. I didn't want to get overly technical. I didn't want to get bogged down in that, because there's a lot of great folks out there that have written books about those things. My goal is simply to, if you walk away from reading this book and say, you know what, I'm about to get started right now, then I've accomplished my goal.
I love it. I love it. All right. Where do you see... All right, so the book comes out. It's going to be a New York Times bestseller. It's going to be on Amazon, burning it up. And where do you see this going, Eric? We've been friends for, as we were joking, 26, almost, let's just round it up, Acorn, 30 years. We've been friends for 30 years. Okay, so this is going to be a new, when you called me about it, when you told me about it, I was like, this is something different that Eric has not done. I've watched it in a lot of other spaces. I'm like, this is something different. So where do you see this going, man? What do you?
I really just being able to, I see the book opening doors for me to talk to folks in schools and churches, and really develop the mindset that people will say, you know what, I can do this. Let me pull out my phone right now and load up Robinhood.
There we go.
Load up Acorn right now and get started right now. That's what I see happening. No more, I don't have anything set aside for anything. And again, there's other things we can get into, and retirement planning and all those kind of things. I don't even want to get that far, because you'll get there if you can even start with, you know what, I can work with right now this little bit of money I got in my pocket. I can take, if you carry change in your pocket, you can say, you know what, I'm going to the bank right now, I'm opening a savings account, and I'm going to put that in there and get started.
I love it. Is it fair to say, Eric, that you want people are traveling in the wrong direction, and all I want you to do, and I'm just putting words in your mouth, turn on the blinker, get off on the exit, and just, now, you might be 100 miles from the right direction, you might be 10 miles from the right direction, you might be 100,000 miles, but all I want you to do is get off, if I'm understanding you correctly, just get off on the exit, cross the bridge, and get back going in the right direction.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Whether it be whether you're driving 100 miles in the right direction, 100 miles per hour in the right direction, is just get going in the correct direction.
Exactly. We got to eliminate the excuse that I don't have anything. I work at McDonald's. I only make $10 an hour, so I don't have anything. No, you do what they talked about in the Bible, and you take what's in your hand and you make that work.
Make it work.
Make that work.
I love it. So this book, your forthcoming book, Make Money Your Employee, is for everybody.
For everybody.
I shouldn't have said it like that.
I know people like to use that for everybody, but again, it's for those that are not, that have thought they could never invest, that they could not save. That's who this book is geared towards, to encourage you and to start working on your mindset. Start making different affirmations. We'll move away from a poverty mindset. Speak that I have.
Right.
Speak that I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. Speak that I have more than enough, that God is my source. There's a series of affirmations that we have in the book. Not this is supposed to be a book of affirmations. You can create your own positive affirmations. But the point is, as you start speaking things, you start changing how you think and you're starting to change your conversation. And then that will start to help you move in a different way as you start to try to develop different actions, different habits, all those kinds of things.
I absolutely love it. Thank you, Eric. As we're looking at, do you see yourself having finished up the book? I think you said that you had done some edits recently. As you finished it up, you see yourself doing it again?
I almost feel like I have to make another step. I feel like that.
It's got to be a trilogy.
I don't know if it's a trilogy. I just feel like there's going to be more that comes out of it.
I like it.
Even the ability to write the book is something that I never thought I would be doing. I'm a CPA. I have a CPA practice. I thought that was the lane that I was going to be in. Like I told you, I thought I'd be writing a book about taxes and not about this, but I felt like this is a God idea. I feel like it's something that I don't want to be overly deep, but I feel like it's a word that God wants people to hear, that anybody can do it. Like I said, it's not even geared towards people that have money. It's really geared towards people that don't think they have and don't think they can get started. I got you.
Matter of fact, how did you overcome that? Like the wanting to stay in your own lane phenomenon. I know you felt the gravitational pull you said write about tax. What did you say? You said write about
taxes and tax strategy.
How did you fight out of that gravity? Because this is, again, and you've said it multiple times here, and we've talked privately, this is a different lane. So how did you fight the pull to just stay in your lane, but now jump into a new lane that I think more people would benefit from? Myself.
It's all uncomfortable. It's all uncomfortable.
Okay.
It was uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you don't feel like you're qualified to write it. It's uncomfortable because it's not what I went to school for necessarily.
Sure.
It's just an uncomfortable space. I've never operated in a space before. I've spoken on podcasts, and of course I speak in front of people, those kinds of things, but I've never done this before. So it's all uncomfortable. But that's what I am doing what I'm challenging other people to do. I am challenging you in the audience, those that are watching and listening to this podcast, to do something different and uncomfortable. I'm challenging you to put some money away. I'm not even telling you how much. We never say in the book how much. We just say put some money away. And I'm encouraging you further to let it stay there.
That's the part right there. That's the part right there.
You got to let it stay there so it can do its work. So I am being an example of that.
I like it. I like it.
But I'm doing it. If they say do it scared, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Do it scared. I like that. Oh, that is some good stuff. As we're looking out again, you said you feel like you probably are going to write more, but you have already been approached to do speaking.
Yes.
You've already been approached to hopefully do some book signings and meet authors and such like that.
That's the plan. That hasn't been set up yet, but I'm open to those that would like to invite me to come and sign books and share with others. I would love to do that. My goal with this really is to help the community and to help those that are not savvy and are not investing in savings. So I would love to meet you. I would love to talk with you. I try to share my personal story in there as well about filing bankruptcy and having a house foreclosed on and having cars repossessed. I really, like I told you before in a previous discussion about, I struggle with that word being the imperfect CPA, but I feel like it's important because individuals think that as a CPA, you have it all together. Your stuff is perfect. You don't have any issues.
Right.
All your money's in order. You've never bounced a check. None of those things are true for me.
None of those things are true.
None of those things are true for me. I've been where I've had no money in the bank with a business. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know how I was going to get clients, to having a practice that's doing over $1 million. But that wasn't easy. But therefore, because I've been through that, now I feel that I can talk about it and help folks.
And just say again, like those are your stories.
Yes.
You have your anecdotal stories in the book. So it's not just hypotheticals and situations.
Right. This is me.
This is you. This is me. Do you feel like your story at all, or your journey, pushed or catapulted you into getting out of that gravitational pull of only writing about the thing that you're really keen on? Do you think that all played a role?
No, it was the Lord.
Okay.
I don't even try to be overly deep about it because I really didn't have an idea to write about this. This is really out of my comfort zone.
I got you.
This is just out of my comfort zone. I even as a practice, as an actual CPA firm, like I've never wanted to delve into personal finance. I didn't want to be a financial planner. Didn't want to help people with budgets and those kinds of things. I didn't want to do any of that. But here I am.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Right.
So obviously, I feel like it's not just a purpose and a destiny and a call. I feel like it's something that the Lord wants to have others know as it relates to finances.
I love it. So as I'm walking around the bookstore, and I go in that finance section, there's not a dearth of books in the finance section. Why, besides your electrifying smile, why would I pick up Make Money Your Employee? I mean,
it's an easy read, first of all. It's nothing to beat you up over the head about. It's a quick read. It's under 100 pages. But it's simply used to be an impetus and a catalyst to get you to do more. My hope is that actually you will pick up other books in the finance section so that you'll get more knowledge. We all have to get more knowledge about a variety of things, but about finances, understanding how money works. My goal was not to, like I said, I don't give any investment theory per se in the book and say you should invest in this and invest in that and do this and that. I'm simply encouraging one to get started. So I think that's what this book is meant to do, is to encourage you in that way. You quick read, you read through it and you say, okay, I'm getting started and I'm about to get the next book that's going to lead me on my investment and financial journey. I
love it. You don't see others as competition. You see them as a compliment. You don't see this book as competing with.
Not at all.
Rather a compliment to.
Not at all.
The chorus that's there, not a shouting match out there.
Exactly. That's exactly correct. And maybe that's why I'm more comfortable talking about the book. And yeah, I'm not trying to compete. I have a goal in mind, which is to help other people make money go to work. I would love to be on the Amazon bestseller and have all those kinds of accolades, but really the goal is for somebody to say, you know what, I read your book and I too was struggling, but I made a decision to do something different, and here's the result of that.
I like it. Eric, as we get ready to round these bases and wrap up, as you're looking, would you want to do more podcasts? Would you like to do more videos? Would you like to just do speakings? Like, how would you see your next step as we're getting ready to start pushing your book out?
I would love to do more speaking and probably more videos.
Okay.
We could do podcasts, but really ones that, like I said, my wife, I think, hit on something when she was like, it's just basic things that we don't know and understand. Like I told you before, you're working 9 to 5. How do you fill out a W-4? If you live in Georgia, how do you fill out a G4? Or let's talk about credit for a minute, and what is it and why is it important? Just a variety of just basic things that will help. When I talk to clients a lot, we talk about like taxes and mortgages, and how you're trying to make sure you don't pay too much in taxes, but then you're trying to get a mortgage where they need to see a certain amount of income. So there's a variety of subjects and things that I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think that could be best done either via videos or even speaking.
I love it. Eric, your book is called Make Money Your Employee.
Yes.
It's forthcoming.
Yes.
There will be, of course, on your website. Yes. What is your website again?
The website where you can order the book is moneyismyemployee.
Moneyismyemployee.com.
Moneyismyemployee.com.
I like it. Moneyismyemployee.com. And of course, will there be information? Will that be also the landing page for speaking events and other places that you'll be? Is that
to book me for speaking? Just go to ericmcglothen.com.
Gotcha.
My name, McGlothen, Eric, ERIC. So
we'll
ericmcglothen.com.
We'll make sure it's available in the description for the podcast. This has been the Marry at a Minute. As I told you before, it's going to be a little bit more than a minute. But hopefully you got a lot of good stuff out of our guests today. Eric McGlothen, CPA here in Atlanta, has been doing this for better than 27 years. Has written a book, Make Money Your Employee.
Yes.
It's forthcoming, and he's really excited about sharing this wisdom, not only the practical wisdom, but also the anecdotal in
Yes.
your own story, your own journey
Yes.
of making money your employee.
Absolutely.
I love it. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in with us today. And until next time, everyone, take care.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.